Hello, Virgo. So we're going to see what's kind of in your energies, in your general energies right now. These are general, take what works, what doesn't work, just doesn't work. But let's see what the cards have to say for you guys. So first up in what this reading is about, you have the Page of Pentacles, and that's clarified by the Seven of Cups. In your current energies regarding the situations, you have the Wheel of Fortune, and in your near future, you have the Ten of Pentacles. Your challenge regarding this is the Ten of Wands reversed, and what is recommended for you is the Magician. Okay, so this situation has to do with something that you are, I don't want to say that you're still trying to figure out, but the pages, to me, they're the students. So this situation is something that you're working through the details. Like, because it's a Pentacles card, this could refer to like a work or hobby or something that you're actually trying to do or learn. It's something that is more of like more the practical, tangible aspects of your life. So you're working through something or trying to figure something out or better yourself regarding like skills or certain things with that to kind of you're doing something that you feel will benefit you in the long run as well, because that's how I see the Pentacles, as well as also kind of the long-term goals, the long-term successes, the long-term achievements type of things. But because he's a student, he's still trying to, he's working through the details. But this is being clarified by the Seven of Cups, and this to me indicates that you are in a position right now where you have a lot of options. Now, I think because he's a student, the Page of Pentacles here, the students, they have the fresh eyes, the fresh mind, everything is kind of new, so many options for them. They're not so set in their ways currently or at that moment where they're viewing different opportunities. The Seven of Cups here says that you might have a lot of opportunities available to you that you are kind of reviewing, but always with the Seven of Cups, some of these opportunities are better than others. So it could be a little bit of a dreamy energy. You might be in a moment where you see a lot of different opportunities, you're trying to figure it out, but you're not really, you might be working towards certain things, but you're still kind of weighing out different options. Because with these two together, I kind of feel like you're taking this Seven of Cups more in like a practical aspect where you're trying to figure out better what option is better for you, what is maybe more long lasting or whatever, and just the different things. So I don't think that this is necessarily such a dreamy energy here. I think you're backing it up with this page, this actual practicality aspect with this. But I definitely think that you have some options that you're trying to figure out. So this, to me, these two together, whatever this reading is very, very good. And it's very more of like a practical thing. Now, in your current energies with this, you have the Wheel of Fortune. So this is saying that this could be something a little bit destined for you. This is something that you might see for yourself in the long run. Now, the Wheel is one of these cards where you need to be in the driver's seat with it. You can't you have to be almost like an active participant. Like when you're doing things, and if you know something could maybe go south, you have to prepare for that, because the wheel, it's always spinning, and it always reminds you, sometimes you have luck, sometimes you don't have luck. But I think with this, maybe if you felt like you didn't have a lot of luck in the past because of whatever you're doing here, and I think because you're taking the Seven of Cups more of like a practical aspect where you're reviewing different options and you're trying to I kind of feel like you're trying to make the best decision here. I feel like you at this moment are actually in control of this wheel, so you're not getting shuffled around with it. If it goes good or bad, you're kind of more like steering it in a sense. And that's very important with the Wheel of Fortune, because if you can steer the wheel, the fortunes come to you. So I think that's very, very important. And it's also one of these things that sometimes things don't go well, but you want to almost prepare for that as well. So I think you're in this preparation mode right now, and I think you're in this kind of real adultish. This feels very adult, Virgos. This is like adult energy right here. You're not messing around over here, which is excellent. So I think the wheel, I think you might be getting a lucky break. I think you might have something that really pairs nicely with you and almost is like meant for you, or you're just good with it. Like maybe it feels like it's coming easy a little bit, but I think it's coming easy because you mesh well with it. So, but what's coming in for you in the near future is the Ten of Pentacles. And like, this is amazing, guys. Like, this reading, I could tell you right now, is really good. This is all about kind of building that lifelong legacy, that long-term goals, like really focusing on long-term success and eventually achieving your long-term goals and your long-term success. Now, obviously, in this reading, I think this Ten of Pentacles is indicating maybe farther down the road, but I think you're going to have some moments coming in for you where you really feel that pride and that kind of accomplishment. So I think that's extremely positive. But I think whatever you're doing here, you really have like a good mind, and I think you have a little luck, but I think the luck is you creating the luck by kind of being in the driver's seat of your life. And I think your actions are actually propelling you nicely forward to this Ten of Pentacles, this kind of legacy, this, happiness, this kind of success. And I don't want to say contentment as in settling, because I don't feel Ten of Pentacles is settling for anything. It's Ten of Pentacles to me is very hard work. It's not easy. It doesn't come easy. So I think when things don't come easy all the time, you're more appreciative. So that's how I see that card. It's kind of like, climbing up a mountain and then getting to the top and looking down and just having a moment where you realize all the work you put in, the blood, sweat, and tears and the frustrations that went into it, but having that satisfaction of like, I did overcome and I did all of this. It wasn't easy. It wasn't pretty either, but I managed. So this is excellent. I definitely think that what you're doing right now is actually really going to push you forward to reaching whatever goals that this represents for you. I think you're being very smart about it. Now, your challenge, guys. You got the Ten of Wands reversed. Now, this is indicating that you might be taking on too much. Like, you might not be delegating if you can delegate. You might be taking on too many responsibilities or trying to get too much done. And the problem with that is you're going to burn yourself out. And sometimes then it's almost like you stall out, like you have too much going on. So now you're not really focusing on things maybe in a fresh mind or a fresh perspective, or you feel like you can't get it done and you're just kind of getting bogged down. So that's really a challenge, because I feel like this here, it's very, I don't want to say heavy energy as in like, sometimes I feel like certain energies are heavy, but they're heavy like emotionally or with thoughts. I don't feel like that's this type of energy, but I do think that this is a lot going on. I think this is a lot of strategizing. It's a lot of kind of figuring out the pieces. It's a lot of reviewing. It's a lot of figuring out what in the hell you're doing, and planning. So I think energetically that, that kind of way, you probably could be feeling a little tired, but I think it's very, very exciting. Now, so you got to watch that. Make sure that you're not kind of burning the stick at two ends or the candle at two ends or whatever. But what's recommended for you is the Magician. Now, the Magician is here to say that you have everything you need. And sometimes I see him as a performer as well. So sometimes you have to with whatever tools that you have, there might be a way to kind of use them or streamline them. And when I say use them, this could be even people around you. I'm not saying use the people around you, but there might be something that you can do that will help you streamline this. And it could be like, you could be either delegating, or there could be programs, or there could be just some other way, or something that could be cut out, or there might be like a shortcut to something. But the Magician is here saying that you have everything that you need to succeed with this successfully, but you might need to kind of figure out the components, like figure out what piece needs to go where to make this more efficient. Because I think you have a lot going on here. I think this is extremely positive. But I think that you need to kind of, and sometimes he's like fake it till you make it. That's how I kind of see this guy, because not every act that he's going to do is going to go well. He's not always going to pull the bunny out of the hat. The bunny sometimes might run out from under the table and kind of screw the whole joke up or whatever. Or then it becomes a joke. But he's kind of like on his feet about it. He's also putting on a show. He's kind of like, okay, well, this didn't go well, but I'm going to try it this way next time. Or I see him as a guy that kind of rolls with the punches too. So some of you might have to kind of roll with the punches. Like if something comes up and it's an obstacle, because with the Wheel of Fortune, I love the Wheel of Fortune, but you know what? This thing, sometimes it indicates like you have luck, but then sometimes, things kind of go awry, things, the shenanigans run out from the ground or something and screw up your plans. So, but I think the Magician is here saying like, just kind of roll with it, make the best out of it. It's not bad, even if you are getting like a hiccup. in your plans or whatever. I don't think it's a bad thing. I just think it's something that you have to kind of stay light on your feet a little bit, because I think because of the Page of Pentacles, whatever the situation is, you're still trying to figure it out. And anytime you try to figure anything out, there is some problems. Nothing ever goes so smoothly. And especially if you have all these options and some are better than others, it's good to explore the options. So I think this is just saying for you, stay light on your feet and don't overcomplicate things. Because I think with the Ten of Wands reversed, this could also be indicating that you may be trying to overcomplicate something, where I think you need to be a little bit more flexible, if that makes sense. But let's see what else we get for you guys. Okay, so first up we have Starfish Spirit, open to infinite possibilities. So, and this is number 59. So I think this is just saying that, I think you are kind of open to infinite possibilities. And I actually think that's extremely important for you. I think it's important for you to be open at this time, because I do think you have a lot. And I think that's really, really good. But I think that you don't want to be biting off more than you can chew. You don't want to be kind of complicating things to a point where almost like you're stalling yourself out. But I think trying things in different ways or exploring different options with the Magician, I just feel like you're going to wind up creating something much better than you realize. I feel like this Magician is here kind of saying play around with everything as well. And I just really feel like you got to roll with the punches a little bit. You can't stay too fixated, because I think sometimes we have these dreams. Let's say your whatever your Ten of Pentacles is for your life, whatever you want. By the time you get to a certain age, your dreams, aspirations, goals, or whatever it is that you even want right now, whatever desire it is right now. I think sometimes we have these fixed, I don't want to say fixed structures in our head or fixed images of it, and we expect it a certain kind of way. But I think sometimes it doesn't really show up that kind of way. The road that you thought you were going to travel to achieve whatever it was, you wind up getting detoured, there's side streets, it's a disaster, a mountain's involved, So I think sometimes we have to kind of be flexible in our mind of okay, well, maybe we're not going to get it quite there, but we're going to get over here. And it's it's still amazing, or maybe we'll wind up something better. So I think that's kind of being a little flexible, but I think definitely I really love, because even the pages, to me, the pages, they're the students, they're just anything is possible. I love that energy. And I think regardless of how old we get, we should always have that kind of anything is possible. I don't care if you're 90 years old. If you want to do something, want to learn something, anything is possible. You're not dead yet, go do it. Okay, now we have Shungite, detox your life. So I definitely feel that with the Ten of Wands here reversed, I think there may be certain things that might not be great for you or might not be worth schlepping along. So you might have to kind of readjust the sails, let certain things down. Don't take on too much. And even with the Wheel of Fortune, for some of you, there might be certain patterns in a way that are coming up in your life that every time it happens, your fortune or things in your life kind of go a certain way. I wonder if there's something that maybe you can detox or cut out from that to help your wheel spin in more of a positive direction. Sometimes it could be people. Sometimes people are little negative Nancy's or whatever. They're running out there. Or situations that it seems like every time you get involved in something, it kind of screws up your plans or kind of sets you back a little bit. So there might be things like that you might need to let go so you can kind of control your own life Wheel of Fortune a little bit easier or a little bit more effectively. Now you have Coffee Cup. Meeting and conversing. Savoring the moment. Feel a feeling uplifted friendship. How do I feel about this? I just think that this is saying that you need to enjoy your journey right now. I think that I really feel like you're almost like in this creative zone. You know, to me, this is it's very powerful energy. It's very creative energy. I think this is very, very long-term energy as well and very beneficial. But I think you need to kind of be almost like open to brainstorming a little bit. And even with this open to infinite possibilities, I'm kind of getting it with this meeting and conversing. Maybe there's things that, because if you're in this Page of Pentacles, maybe there's, whatever this is, there might be somebody that has a lot of knowledge, or even people that you could follow on the social medias or whatever that are kind of doing what you want to do, or you could see what they're doing and you could see what a bunch of people are doing and kind of just really figure out, like, because that might be what this energy is, the Seven of Cups. Like, you're reviewing what other people are doing regarding this and how they're doing it or whatever they're doing, and you're kind of seeing what fits you best or what makes you make sense the best to you. So I think that I just feel like you're in this really, like, the world is your oyster kind of energy here. And within this, you might be able to make some kind of really positive connections a little bit. Now, religious factors. Your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. Now, this could indicate like love life, religious stuff, but to me, religious factors could be, it doesn't have to necessarily be like religion. It could be anything that you really are setting your mind to, like anything that you almost like live your life by, like the rules, regulations, or mental restrictions, or whatever it is that you live your life by, to me, is kind of what the religious factors represent. So there might be something. Now, this could be positive and negative, okay? There may be something that you feel, maybe there was a way you did something in the past and you've kind of always done it that way. And maybe you might need to kind of, I'm not saying scrap it, but you might need to kind of explore beyond that. So there might be, to me, this religious factors with this might be almost like, I don't want to say a restrictive aspect, because it's not always bad. You know, sometimes it's good to have restrictive aspects, you know, because certain people kind of need that restrictions to kind of keep them within a certain path. You know, certain people kind of will be a little excessive if they didn't have those guidelines. But I just wonder if there's something a little bit beyond what you're used to doing or the way you're used to thinking that might actually be beneficial in certain degrees. You know, like kind of expanding a little bit beyond. And it doesn't mean that you have to kind of fully let go of certain beliefs or habits or whatever. But sometimes it's interesting to see little different perspectives, because sometimes it helps you actually even gain a better perspective of whatever situation this is regarding you. So yeah, take that how that works. Okay, now you have full moon. Protect your energy and hold your stars close. So now you have another kind of like detoxing, because you had this one over here was about detoxing. So some of you, you know, with the protecting your energy, I kind of feel like this is a lot going on right here. And I feel like with this 10 of Wands reversed, I think you don't want to get worn out, because this is kind of long-term stuff. And this is actually really, really important. You don't want to screw this up. You're not going to screw it up, Virgos. You got this. But I'm just saying that even with the troubleshooting and everything, it's so, you know, sometimes it's frustrating. Let's call it for what it is. And the Wheel of Fortune here, sometimes things go great. Sometimes things don't go great. You know, it's a little bit of that kind of round and roundabout. But I think you just need to kind of one step at a time. And even if you need to take a minute sometimes, because I feel like I don't think you're burning yourself out yet, but you don't want to get to the point where you're burning yourself out. Now you have sexuality. Existing relationship could find a new passion and heightened sexual attraction. Opportunities for marriage and good family life are strong, but if single, beware of temptation that could lead to trouble. A child will also bring great joy. Now, I just wonder if I'm going to see this as like kind of like maybe you're deepening your connection with people right now. Maybe because even with this coffee cup here, this meeting and conversing, feeling uplifted in friendship, there might be kind of, you might be actually gaining like stronger connections to certain people. It could be work, relationship, take it however it is, but you might actually be, because I feel like this is almost like, I don't want to say passion project, but I feel like it's something that you're really, I don't want to say fixated in a bad way, but you're focused on. And sometimes when you have such a passion and such a focus and such an interest in something, you attract other people that kind of have the same interest, you know? So I wonder if you're actually attracting a little bit other people that kind of have the same passion. And I think you might be making some friends, or there could be some very good connections coming out of it. Root chakra, strength. Strength comes from your connection to the root of your being. Now, I think this is saying that if you're feeling, because with the Ten of Wands, he's feeling a little overwhelmed. You just need to kind of protect your energy right now. And don't let yourself get too worn out. Now we have, he was frank with me. Make me one with everything. And this is just saying, I see this as life is like a hot dog. You, as the magician, are the master of your own destiny, and you can make the hot dog any which way you want. This hot dog looks delicious. I personally would put also, with the mustard, I put some mayonnaise on there. I put some ketchup. I would get pickles. I put everything on this hot dog. You get those, like, you know, those onions, those sauteed onions. Oh, put some of that. But I'll take raw onions too. Like, hey, I don't discriminate when it comes to this hot dog and all the all the stuff on top. So basically, what this is saying is, you are the master of your own destiny. You are the creator of your own life. You make your hot dog the way you want to. There you go. And then we have, there would be no rainbows without sunshine and rain. And I feel like this is going a little bit with the Wheel of Fortune and then the Ten of Wands reverse. So you're going to hit up against the little obstacles. Some of these options might look really good in the beginning. And then if you pursue it a little bit, you might be like, oh, that really wasn't the best idea. It kind of sucked. But that helps you figure things out a little bit more. Because if you're still figuring this whole situation out, you know, nothing comes easy 100%. Maybe for some people, but I know for me, it does not come easy 100%. So, unfortunately, life is like the Wheel of Fortune. Some days are excellent. Some days it's torrential downpour and a disaster and everything's flooded. But it's just kind of one day at a time. Now, for your little affirmation card, you have, today I'm grateful. Today my heart filled... Oh, let me read that again. Sorry. Today I'm grateful. Today my heart is filled with joy. I see the positive in everything today. I think this is beautiful. So if you're having a moment where there's a little bit of rain and a little bit of frustration, just feel that your heart's filled with joy and just see the good things that happen during that day. Even if it's just that you saw a cute squirrel or something. Sometimes it's just the little details that can kind of help you, remind you to put things into perspective, even when there is a disaster. Now, let's see what Bob Ross has to say for you. We artists are a different breed of people. We're a happy bunch, and that's true. I think that, I kind of feel like I said before, I think that this, whatever this is something that you're really, I don't want to say passionate about, but it's something that might be very intrinsic to you. Obviously, you know, it is intrinsic to you, but it might be something that you really are going to find other people that have the same kind of interest or the same kind of passion with it. And I just feel like you're going to wind up, I don't want to say your soul tribe, but I just feel like you're going to wind up kind of connecting with others with whatever this is. Like, it's something that you're really going to be proud of. It's something that you're really going to enjoy. It's something that you put blood, sweat, and tears into. But I think it's going to actually make you, with this Ten of Pentacles, like, I think this is something that is really deeply satisfying for you and kind of worth almost the burdens and the journey. So I think this is extremely positive. Okay, next up we have, for your stress relief and self-care card, you have hugging or handshakes. Objective, show that you care. No one likes a cold hug. Make sure the first person you hug or shake hands with today feels like you gave it your complete attention instead of feeling like your mind was somewhere else. You never know what someone can be going through. Be mindful and show them that you care simply by giving the person a big warm hug or a nice firm handshake with a bright smile. So that is wonderful. I think that's really nice. And I feel like this is kind of going with this whole, like, that you might be finding people a little bit. I feel like I'm getting something here and I'm not sure how to say it. Like, I kind of feel like, I wonder if through this journey you might be kind of encountering some people that might be kind of going through the same thing that you're going through, but maybe they're struggling a little bit. Because I'm going to be honest with you. I kind of feel like you have a lot going on, but I don't feel that it's like you're struggling. I think it's, you need to make sure that you're not going to get to a point where it's too much for you. But I just feel like this energy of that, you're almost like, this is revitalizing you, or this is almost like energizing you, even just being part of this, even though it's a lot to deal with. I just feel like you're kind of, you know, it just recharges you. But I wonder if, as you're going through this, if you might meet other people that are kind of going through something similar, that you actually will help recharge them. And that could be through hugs or handshakes or even just being kind of there for them, or I don't know. I just feel like this is something that you are going to actually help somebody else. Obviously, this says you're going to help somebody else, but I just feel like this was here saying that you're actually going to help other people around you. Almost like, I don't want to say be their rock to do it too, but you have to watch out that you're not taking on other people's stuff as well. You got to be careful with the Ten of Wands in reverse, that you're not overdoing stuff. But I just feel like that you're actually going to be this, like, I don't want to say voice of reason, but like, I don't want to say role model. I'm getting something that you're going to be looked up to, or not admired, but maybe more like kind of people, I don't want to say respected. I just don't know. I just think people are going to acknowledge what you're doing and your efforts. And I think that it might help them, give them strength, their own strength inside to try to pursue whatever they're trying to do. I think that's what I was trying to get out. Okay. Now for your spirit of the dish that will be with you during this situation, you have the spirit of the fallen, which is the spirit of the apple. Now, for your dinner and a movie, you have drama movies and Mexican food. For the energies you either need to tap into right now, you have Aries, and this is all about like energy, initiative. Aries could be a little stubborn as well, but it's all about that kind of initial spark, that kind of like, I don't want to say competitive as well, but they're just like, they're going to do it. They're very, very like ready to start something. We're not always great at finishing stuff, okay? But we're great at starting it. You need somebody to start something, you call it Aries. You need somebody to finish it, you need somebody else to do that. But I'm just saying, I'm an Aries, and I know we don't always have the long game in mind, but we have that initial, that spark, the initial, we're doing it. We got that. So I think you might have to have that kind of confidence in yourself, and that like, I could do this, like kind of creating something out of nothing, just initially, that initial kind of, I'm going to get this going, and I got nothing here. But the Magician is saying that you have everything you need. Sometimes you just have to kind of merge things or do things in a different way to kind of get that. But you also have Capricorn here, and these guys are about like kind of hard work. These guys have that long game, that persistence, that kind of very responsible and everything. So I think this could obviously be people you're dealing with, signs or energies that you need to kind of be aware of or recommended for you. So I think there's something that you need to have that initial, like you could do it, that kind of spark, but you also need to be having that long game plan as far as how you're going to do this, how you're going to sustain this over the long haul. Now, this little guy here is Pluto, and this is about transformation and major changes. And then we have Saturn here, which is also Capricorn energy, and this is about restrictions, responsibilities, and life lessons. You have the first house, which is about appearance, ego, interests, and the self, and then you have the third house, which represents communication, intellect, communities, and relationships. And the special guest that'll be answering your questions today, Virgos, will be the Magic 8 Ball, because you got number 1, and the Magic 8 Ball handles all the odd numbers. So think of those questions. He'll be out here shortly. You have U, N, I, V, 1, 2, 8. Okay, 2 of these jumped out for me. So this jumped out and this one was in my hand. I feel like with the key, you have everything. This is saying that you have like the tools to unlock the door or unlock your tree of happiness or whatever. Like I think right now this is saying that you have the keys. You might just need to find what lock unlocks the door. But I think with the Wheel of Fortune, I think you're getting close to that. Even if, with the Page of Pentacles, you're still trying to figure things out. I think the key is here saying that you have the key, which is half of it. You got half the battle already. You just need to find the right door. So that's extremely positive. Now, with the bow tie, what am I getting with this? You know what I'm getting with this? I feel like this is going with the Magician energy, because the bow tie is kind of like, you could tie this bow, because it's a ribbon, right? You could tie it in any which way. So I think this is saying that depending on how you tie your life ribbon is the way, that is how you want it to look. Like, just like with this, did we go with this hot dog? Where's the hot dog? I feel like this is going with this hot dog. Here. You create your life hot dog, okay? So I feel like with this bow tie, I feel like you have the string of whatever this represents for you, and you are the magician that's going to tie it in a certain kind of way. And I think depending how you tie it, it either could look like shit or it could look really good. But it's all you. It's all you trying to figure that out. And I feel like you are trying to figure that out, but I'm getting for this is that you have it. You know, like you kind of have what you need to make something look, I don't want to say better than maybe it does, but you have what you need to kind of make it like to work or whatever. That's what I'm getting. I don't know if that made any sense. It makes sense in my brain, but you know what? Sometimes I'm not sure if it makes sense for anybody else. But you have the string and you have the key. Okay, let's see what else we get for you guys. Oh, and you have a 5 here. This guy was hiding. There you go. See, a hidden thing. So hiding in plain sight. Okay, so you have clarity. And I think that, oh, I'm dropping everything. So I think that like, now I wonder if that's kind of going with the 7 of Cups a little bit, because this guy, there's a lot of options, but I think as you go along, you get the little bit of clarity of things. So, and I think sometimes when you're in this Wheel of Fortune mode where you're working on something, sometimes it goes well, sometimes it doesn't go well. You gain clarity on that as well, because the Wheel of Fortune, you're an active participant in this game show of life, you know? So you spin the wheel, you spin it one kind of way, and maybe it goes real well, but you spin it a different kind of way and not quite the same result. So, but within that, you learn. Anytime something goes wrong, you are the most aware, you are the best student at that moment, because you're learning what you're not going to do next time, pretty much, or what you hope not to do next time. So I think you're gaining some type of clarity here with this. And I wouldn't be surprised even with this, like the 10 of Wands reversed, you know, you're maybe putting more things into perspective. And with the Magician being recommended, I think it's kind of telling you got to play around, but you got to see what you got. Like, you got to really acknowledge your tools, your skills, and how can you, if there's things that you're not really excelling at, because we all have good things, we all have bad things, we all have things that we really are good at and things that we just suck at. Everyone is different, but sometimes the things that you suck at are not necessarily bad. You just have to figure out how to accommodate, to try them in a different way, to maybe make them where it's not such a, what's the word I want? Where you're not at such a disadvantage, you know? And there's a lot of things that you could do now. Like, there's certain things that I'm not good at, so I have to find workarounds to be able to kind of help me prop up my incapabilities a little bit, so I'm not at such a disadvantage when they come up. You know what I'm saying? So, for instance, like, I can't, like, math, I suck at math. So my phone has a calculator, so I'm not at a disadvantage when I'm trying to figure out how much something is off, because I just whip out my calculator, where other people could do it easily in their mind. They don't have a problem. They can figure out the percentages and everything immediately. Me, I can't like hold those figures in my mind. I can't conceptualize that. Like, I can conceptualize so much stuff, but when it comes to math, I'm just like, oh my God. So, but I use a calculator, so it's not a disadvantage for me anymore that I suck at math. It's just like I'm using now tools to help me overcome that. So that's something that you might have to kind of figure out within yourself as well. Okay, now it is time, Virgos. Now it is time. Here he is. Think of those questions. Oh, hold on. Let me say that again. Sorry. I'm like, I think the coffee just kicked in. I was calling him Mr. Predicto, but I would offend him. I was calling him out his name, and he would have been really pissed at me. Here we go. Now it's the Magic 8 Ball. Okay, now I'm like in the zone, and I'm here and I'm present, and we are all mentally present right now. And we have Virgo's questions we're thinking about, and I'm not going to insult the Magic 8 Ball by calling him Mr. Predicto, because these two have beef sometimes. But anyway, here we go. Okay. Oh, mystical, magical 8 Ball, the mightiest ball of all the balls in the world. What is the answer to Virgo's question? It said, don't count on it. Okay, so he might have actually been a little pissy at me, so he's being pissy with you guys. But that is, at the end of the day, the 8 Ball has spoken. So, not to count on it. Was it my fault? Because I led the magic 8 Ball. I steered him in a wrong direction in the beginning. I don't really know. Is it actually the legitimate answer to your question? Maybe. But anyway, he has spoken, so we have to respect him even though he gets cranky at times. Anyway, guys, I hope you all have a wonderful day, week, year, month, and lifetime, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.